My name is Carl, and this is a video about missions in Warhammer, and it's very interesting because there's so much randomization, and you need to select fixed or tactical and so on, and what is it about? So let's watch.
Welcome to Warp into Arc.
Warp into war.
Very, very hard to be civilized. We are being disciplined, checking the chronometers. Because today, we are looking at the playbook.
The tactical doctrines.
Yeah, the playbook. And I don't mean the fun part where you just, run the enemy and smash them. I mean the actual playbook.
The parameters for victory.
Exactly. It's like when the boys line up on the gridiron. You can have the biggest, meanest linebackers in the whole league, but if you don't know the snap count and you don't know where the end zone is, you're just a big target.
A liability.
Yeah. Standing in a field while the other team scores points and getting penalized for, like, delay of game is not cool.
Cool is irrelevant. Victory is the only metric that matters. A disorganized army is simply a mass grave waiting to be filled. War is not a brawl, despite what your instincts might tell you. It is a calculation, a sequence of precise, often cruel exploitations of the enemy's weakness.
Right. And that is why you're here. You're the offensive coordinator, the big brain in the headset. Today we are cracking open the archives.
The articles covering the chapter-approved missions, 10th edition.
Yes, that. We're going to break down how to score points, how to stop the other guy from scoring, and how to not look like a confused garrote in the middle of the field.
Precision is the difference between a martyr and a victim. The mission deck is the map of your duty. If you do not understand it, you are firing your bolter into the void.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The goal is to understand the scoreboard. It's not just about wiping the other team off the table, though I admit that is the best part.
It is a pleasant but often strategically irrelevant outcome.
You win by victory points. VP. The max score is 100. And I want to start with the first 10 points, because the articles really focus on this. You get 10 VP just for having your army battle ready. Just means painted right.
It means discipline. A warrior who cannot maintain the heraldry of their order cannot be trusted to hold a battle line.
True.
So it's like a uniform inspection.
It is a psychological weapon. It shows you have the resolve to finish a task. If you show up with gray plastic, you have already admitted to your opponent that you are lazy, and laziness is a weakness I will exploit.
Okay, that's intense,
Yeah.
but fair.
Yeah.
It's like showing up to the Super Bowl without your jersey on. You look silly. So that's the easy 10 points. But the real heavy lifting that comes from the primary missions.
50 possible points, half of the total.
Yeah, half the game. This is the ground game. The running back smashing up the middle for 3 yards. It's reliable. It's heavy hitting.
The primary mission is the test of consistency. It is not about one moment of heroism. It is about holding ground turn after turn while under fire.
And you scored at the start of your turn, not the end.
At the end of your command phase, beginning from the second battle round, this is a critical distinction. It means you must endure the enemy's entire turn and still be standing there when your own turn begins.
That sounds tough. You gotta take the hit and keep standing. So then you have the secondary missions. That's another 40 VP. If primary is the ground game, secondaries are, what? The special teams, the trick plays.
They are the tiebreakers. If both commanders are competent, they will trade blows on the primary line. The victor is the one who exploits fleeting opportunities.
So it's about being quick on your feet.
And, more importantly, this brings us to the doctrine of denial.
Denial. Ooh, I like the sound of that.
You must understand, you do not need to score 100 points to win. You only need to score one more point than the enemy.
Just one.
If you cannot score a secondary objective yourself, ensuring your enemy scores 0 is functionally equivalent. Deny them, and you win.
It's like a defensive lineman batting the ball down. Not today. Okay, so let's look at the primary missions. The articles say there are 10 different ones in the deck, but they're not all the same, are they?
They are not. A wise commander analyzes the probability.
I was looking at the stats in these articles. You can kind of split them into 2 groups. You've got your control and kill missions, and you've got your action missions.
A practical distinction.
The control ones are the majority, about 60% of the deck. Missions like Take and Hold, Linchpin, and my personal favorite, Purge the Foe.
Of course you prefer Purge the Foe. It is a crude mission for crude minds.
Hey, it rewards you for killing units. It's the one time where tackling the quarterback actually puts points on the board directly.
It does. But relying on it is a trap. The majority of these control missions simply ask, do you have more objective control OC on the marker than the enemy?
So it's just about having more guys standing there.
A contest of presence. Can you put more bodies on the circle than they can? If you chase kills and forget the objective, you lose.
Right, right.
And this is important because usually you have one objective in your base, like where you deploy, and then there's one close by, and the same thing for your opponent. And this is only about symmetrical games. And then it's like who can like stop the other one from having their objective. And yeah.
Eyes on the prize. Then you get the other 40%,
Yeah.
the action-based missions, the ritual, terraform. These are the ones that confuse.
And this is important because action-based means that you have units that need to perform actions and can't participate in the game that much. And this is randomized, so it's a 40% chance that you need to do more actions in this game. So you need to be prepared for both.
Excuse me. The card says, perform an action. So my boys have to stop shooting, stop crumping, and go, do a puzzle.
They are performing vital strategic tasks, surveying the ground, consecrating a holy site. While they do this, they cannot shoot or charge. This requires sacrifice.
Feels like benching your star player so he can do math homework on the sideline. But okay, now the articles mention this one rule that really trips people up. Sticky objectives.
Sticky objectives are a tool for the efficient. Certain units or specific stratagems allow you to control an objective even after your unit moves away.
Which sounds great. I tag it, say this is mine, and then I run off to go find someone else to hit. Open field running.
It is efficient, but it breeds complacency. We call this the open goal trap. If you leave an objective unguarded because it is sticky, you invite disaster against highly mobile enemies.
You mean the uppy-downy armies.
Do not call them that.
You know what I mean. The Grey Knights, Necrons with the Hypercrypt Legion, they pick up their guys and bam, drop them right behind you.
Precisely. If you leave a sticky objective completely empty, a Grey Knight Terminator squad can teleport strike onto it. Since you have 0 OC on it, because you left, they only need one model to take it from you. You have handed them the territory.
And that's very important because, for instance, in Astra Militarum you have Cadian shock troops that can have a sticky special rule, and they can, tag the objective in your base deployment zone and then move on, and then you just leave everything. And for instance, in the third turn, your opponent can move into the deployment zone and just grab it easy.
So it's a trap for me.
Yeah.
But wait, can I use it as a trap for them?
Now you are thinking. You leave it empty to lure them in, but you keep your guns trained on that location.
Yeah.
When they manifest to steal your prize, they find themselves in a kill box. That is how you punish greed.
A kill box. I like the sound of that. Okay, let's move to the pregame. Before the whistle blows, before we even roll for first turn, we have to choose our secondary mission type. Fixed or tactical.
This is the first strategic decision of the battle.
Fixed missions. This is like coming in with a set game plan. We're going to run the ball left and we're going to throw deep right. You pick 2 cards like Bring It Down or Assassination, and you keep them the whole game.
Fixed missions offer stability. If you are facing an enemy with many vehicles, an Imperial Guard armored column, perhaps choosing Bring It Down is logical. You will be rewarded for doing what you intended to do anyway.
But the other guy knows what you picked, right?
That is the flaw. If you pick assassination, I know you are coming for my leaders. I will hide them. I will screen them. I will make your mission impossible. You telegraph your punch.
And the articles say you can't take no prisoners as fixed in tournaments anymore.
Correct. The option for easy points based on attrition has been removed.
Right. No.
And this is important because to select fixed, you do this, you make this selection, when you know about the opponent's army, so you can analyze the opponent army and then see, okay, for this game I'm gonna use fixed.
Free points for just general crumping. So then you have tactical missions. This is like calling an audible at the line of scrimmage. Every turn you draw new cards. You don't know what you're going to get.
It is chaos, but chaos can be harnessed. Tactical missions offer higher potential rewards.
And in tournaments, all the good players are using tactical, and they are that good that they are completing everything. They are maximizing the points. And to do that, they need to set up all units and be prepared, like for the missions that could, they draw, and also to stop the opponent from potential, tactical missions. So they know everything, basically.
And importantly, if you draw a card you cannot achieve, you can discard it at the end of your turn to gain a command point.
I love that.
But it's like you can get 1 CP, but for instance, if you there are epic heroes that gives you 1 CP, so everyone get 1 CP for free, and then you can have, for instance, an epic hero that gives you 1 additional CP, and then you can't get any more. So even if you discard one of these tactical missions, you don't get a CP, so that's one thing you need to remember.
Free CP just for realizing, hey, I can't do this. It's like getting a timeout back.
It is resource generation. However, you are subject to the random nature of the draw. You might draw capture enemy outpost when you are pinned in your own deployment zone.
Yeah, that's a bad beat. But you got to stay flexible. Adapt or die, as they say.
Indeed. There is even a mission rule card named precisely that. Sometimes you must swap your strategy mid-battle. A rigid mind snaps. A flexible one bends and strikes back.
Let's talk about these actions again. Because whether it's primary or secondary, you're going to have to do them.
Yeah.
And the articles are really specific about who can do them and who can't.
An action is a commitment. A unit performing one removes itself from the combat phase. But the eligibility requirements are strict. First, you cannot be battle shocked. Cowards cannot secure objectives.
Makes sense. If they're running away, they're not listening to orders.
Second, you cannot have an objective control of 0. Third, you cannot be within engagement range of the enemy unless you are Titanic.
Oh.
And crucially, you cannot have advanced or fell back that turn.
So you can't sprint halfway across the field and then start doing a ritual. You got to move normally.
Correct. And you must understand the economy of it. If you are playing a mission like the ritual, you need a unit to sacrifice its shooting for 4 or even 5 turns of the game.
And this is very important. There's a randomization of having a primary mission that required actions, but also if you select flexible as secondary missions, at least you have your army, you have the army list, maybe you prepare for the fixed missions to have a few actions, but and then also the tactical, there are randomized how many actions you need, so you need to, this is a good number 10, think about 10 actions per game.
Or 5 turns.
For tactical secondaries, you might need to perform 5 separate actions over the course of the battle.
5 actions. That's 5 times I'm not shooting my big guns.
Which is why you do not use your big guns for this. You do not use a battle tank to cleanse a corrupted node. You use a small, inexpensive unit.
Bench warmers.
Support assets. Scouts. Servitors. Cheap units whose only purpose is to perform the administrative tasks of war so that the heavy hitters remain free to kill.
I need to get some action monkeys. Got it. Okay, let's talk big picture strategy. The articles talk about holding objectives safely. You mentioned this thing, the threefold hold. It sounds scary.
It is a doctrine of redundancy. If you rely on a single unit to hold an objective, you are negligent. You must present the enemy with a problem that has no single solution.
Okay, break it down. What's layer 1?
Bodies. A cheap unit with high total OC. 10 infantry with OC2. Each gives you 20 OC. This forces the enemy to kill many models just to flip the objective.
Okay, clog up the middle. Makes sense. Layer 2.
Durability. A vehicle or monster sitting on the point. Something with high toughness. This forces the enemy to bring heavy anti-tank weaponry. Small arms fire will bounce off.
So now I need machine guns for the little guys and rockets for the tank. What's layer 3?
Utility. A lone operative character or clever use of terrain. Lone operatives cannot be targeted from more than 12 inches away.
Oh, that's dirty.
Even if they blast the tank and gun down the infantry, if their anti-tank guns are standing 15 inches away, they cannot remove the lone operative. You still hold the point.
That is nasty. It's a defensive line you can't just run through. You force the other guy to have 3 different keys to open one door.
And think about this for each objective you have. So if you have 2 objectives, you can have these 3 types of units on each objective. So that's 6 units, and maybe those can do actions, and then you need to think about if the opponents do the same thing, how do you remove them from the objective?
Precisely. You exhaust their resources, they waste their turn, you keep the points.
And there's some other dirty tricks too, right?
Yeah.
The articles mention something about standing on the objective marker.
It is not a trick, it is geometry. In tournament play, objective markers are treated as flat terrain.
And this is since the chapter approved, tournament rules.
You can stand on them.
But I thought you couldn't end your move on the little plastic circle.
The articles clarify that you can, and here is the advantage. To control an objective, the enemy must be within 3 inches of its center. If you place a large base or cluster of models directly on the marker, you can physically prevent them from getting within those 3 inches.
Wait, what? So even if they charge me and we're fighting face to face, if I'm standing on the edge of the marker, they literally can't fit their base into the scoring zone?
Exactly. You wall them off, they can kill you, but until your models are removed, they cannot score. You deny them points even as they are stabbing you.
That is some next level offensive line.
So they're talking about you just flood the objective with models, and the enemy needs to kill everyone to even enter the objective.
I'm blocking right there. You shall not pass. I love it. So how do we prioritize all this? My head is spinning with rules.
Prioritization is simple. Greed kills. Do not chase secondary objectives at the expense of primaries.
Primary is primary. It's in the name.
You must scream this in your mind. Do not abandon a 5 VP primary to chase a 2 VP secondary. It is simple math. And ensure your secondaries do not conflict with your army's plan.
Like, don't pick cleanse, which means you can't shoot or charge if your whole army is built to run forward and crump people.
Correct. If you are playing a melee army that needs to advance, do not choose a secondary that forces you to stand still. You are defeating yourself before the battle begins.
Man, this is so complicated. OC2, 50 VP, 3 inches. My brain hurts. I just want to roll buckets of dice and yell, wah.
Then you will lose. And
Oh.
you will deserve it.
But you might have fun.
Passion is a weapon, but discipline conquers the galaxy.
Harsh, but probably fair. Okay, look, the main takeaway here is winning isn't just about who hits harder. It's about the scoreboard. It's about that threefold hold thing.
Yeah.
And using your bench warmers.
It is about reading the rules. The greatest weapon is knowledge. Read the articles. Memorize the mission deck. Exploit the enemy's ignorance.
She makes it sound so menacing. But she's right. We didn't even get to talk about like specific faction tactics today. That's going to have to be a deeper dive for next time.
Indeed. There are many more layers to discuss.
All right, that's the final whistle. Game over. I got to go ice my head. All this thinking gave me a headache.
Go meditate. Weakness of the mind is the first step towards heresy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Whatever you say, boss. This has been Warp into War. Deep diving into the mission deck so you don't have to
Transmission ending.
over and out.
Great.